Yun. So today is Sunday, November 16th, 2025. And as much as I would like to content on other things, my main goal for today is to talk to OFWs or the overseas Filipino workers about something very important. Nakalagay po yan sa title ko na financial literacy for OFWs. Pag may mga nanonood din po ng mga families back home here in the Philippines, pwede rin manood para ma-enlighten din po sila at ma-educate. By the way, I am Teacher Timmy and this is Teacher Timmy Talks. Another day, another discussion with Teacher Timmy. And I'm an advocate of financial literacy. So here it is. May guide po ako para hindi ako magkamali sa mga sasabihin ko. Diba? So let's talk about OFWs. Ayan. So syempre pag nag-abroad pa lang, nasa planning stage pa lang yung OFW, ang dami na niyang pangarap. Ang dami na niyang mga iniisip na plano na gagawin. Di po ba? So sorry, hindi po ako makakapagbasa ng comments. I-drop nyo na lang as message sa akin kung may katanungan tayo. Mahaba-haba po ito na discussion. So your OFW contract won't last forever. Hashtag walang forever, bebe. And why financial literacy is your only way home. Ayan. So pag-usapan natin, paalis pa lang yung OFW pero kailangan niyang mag-plan about financial literacy. Kasi that's the only way home. Pabalik. Kasi nga, walang forever na contract abroad. Here's the myth of the endless remittance. We call you the modern day heroes, the bagong bayani. You live comfort, sunlight, the family behind, driven by a love so fierce, it transcends oceans. You punch in long shifts in freezing warehouses, sweltering kitchens, or lonely hospitals, all echoing with the same mantra, para sa pamilya. But here is the harsh truth we need to discuss. Your sacrifice is not guaranteed to secure your future unless you understand money. The reality is, working abroad is just temporary. Contracts end, bodies age, tumatanda tayo, and the inevitable day will come when you board a plane for the last time, ready to settle down for good. Yun minsan yung masaklap. Kagabi nga nanonood kasi ako ng isang vlogger sa Dubai, yung Becky. Tapos sabi niya, nalulungkot daw siya kasi lilisanin na niya ang Dubai. But wait, there's more. Sabi niya, nalulungkot lang ako because of my experiences, the life in Dubai. But I'm heading to another emirate kasi there are 7 emirates of the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Doon din po ako nanggaling sa Dubai. I have worked as an OFW. I was a teacher there for 10 years. Kaya alam ko po ang feeling. So as I was watching him, on the other hand, may isa pang Becky din na nag-vlog din sa Dubai, na nagkukwento din siya ng mga experiences niya back home, like dati mahirap yung buhay, ganito ganyan, tapos from nothing to ngayon, something, kasi may kaya na sila, tapos nag-vlog daw siya, kumikita siya, so she is also providing that life na na-experience sa family niya. The question is, when the day arrives, will you be returning home for a well-deserved retirement or simply trading your job abroad for new financial stress in the Philippines? Kasi kami, sad to say, we came home in 2019, 2018, just before the pandemic hit, no, the world, in 2019. Nag-lockdown ang Philippines ng 2020 March. Ganon din kami. Umuwi kami with a mindset because we were trained, my husband and I, we were trained for financial literacy through Vistaland International Marketing Incorporated. Shout out to Pastor Dan, our coach, and Ma'am Vange, our supportive managing director and manager net, of course, who introduced us the company kung saan kami na mindset ni husband about real estate. But nonetheless, it was too late nung na-realize namin lahat yung mga mistakes namin abroad because we were living the life as well. And when we came home, wala po kaming savings. So we had no choice. I had no choice but to go back to work. So right now, I am a teacher here in the Philippines. As I was a teacher there abroad. But I did not imagine, I never thought na magti-teach ulit ako sa Pilipinas. But ganun nga ang fallback. Pag wala ka tong fallback, pagbalik mo, you'll be forced to work again. That's the main thing. This is why financial literacy is not a luxury for OFWs. It is the most vital tool in your toolkit. Let's talk about the financial imbalance. Ito na yung mga myth. Ano ba yung mga pagkakamali at maling paniniwala ng mga tao, both yung pamilya na iniwan nung nag-abroad at yung nag-abroad. Here is the financial imbalance. Your sacrifice versus their lifestyle. So this is the toughest pill to swallow. But we must discuss the dependency cycle. You are working 10 times harder than you ever have. Watching every dollar, real, or dirham, sending home a substantial portion of your salary na kahit na wala nang halos matira sa'yo, sakto lang pambayad mo sa rent, pangkain onte, tapos walang pangluho, at gusto mong ipadala yung 80%, ng sahod mo sa pamilya mo sa Pilipinas. Meanwhile, back in the Philippines, life continues. And oftentimes, it gets upgraded. That's the truth. The kids are moved to a more expensive school. The old motorcycle or jeepney is traded for a new SUV. Naka-Fortuner na sila, bebe. Samantala, ikaw nagko-commute ka sa abroad. Nakikipagsapalaran ka, nakikipag-agawan ng bus, tumatakbo ka, lalakad ng malayo para to catch up that train or the metro. Kasi may oras yan, di ba? The monthly padala becomes the core budget, sustaining a lifestyle that is fundamentally unsustainable without your foreign income. Ikaw na be ang nag-iisang source of income nila. And here is the dependency trap. When you are the sole provider, or let's call you the breadwinner, your family can easily shift from being financial partners to passive recipients. Dati nag-work naman sila. Dati magkatuwang naman kayo. Kunwari may asawa ka, or may mga magulang ka, o mga kapatid. Hindi naman sila matatanda pa, o senior citizen, para hindi kumilos. Pero just because sumasahod ka na ng times 3, nung sahod mo dito sa Pilipinas, nung nasa abroad ka na, hindi na sila nagtrabaho kasi kaya mo na mag-isa. They live a comfortable life, attending expensive birthday parties, eating out regularly, enjoying the freedoms of being together while you work alone. This isn't just an emotional burden. It's a huge financial risk. If you lose your job tomorrow, that entire new lifestyle crashes down instantly because none of those expenditures were funded by passive income or strategic investments. They were funded by your immediate, finite labor. Tanggalin natin ang sahod. Yun ang sinasabi ni Pastor Dan sa amin nun. Always think of income replacement plan. IRP. Para hindi ka ma-RIP, rest in peace. What is income replacement plan? Yung sinasahod mo na 85,000 abroad. Let's say, sige 100,000 na. 100,000 abroad. Na kinikita na yan ng dito sa Pilipinas ng 4 na tao sa level 1 or entry level sa government. Kapag tinanggal mo yung work, masisante ka, nagkaroon ng recession, nagkaroon ng shortage sa company mo, financial loss, whatever, tinanggal ka. Paano? Ano ipapalit mo doon? So habang nandun ka sa estado ng buhay mo na maganda ang kitaan, dapat nag-iisip ka na ng income replacement plan which is passive so that kapag tinanggal na itong 100,000 na source of income because of employment, meron ka ng kapalit. May fallback ka na. Hindi yung pinadala mo yung, let's say, 70,000, ginastos nila, nagtrabaho ka ulit, kayod kalabaw ka ulit, tapos pag pinadala mo sahuran ulit, nandiyan nakasahod na ulit yung mga kamay nila, remittance ka na naman, tapos gagasusin na naman nila, it becomes a cycle. And the only thing that is permanent there is tumatanda ka. At darating yung panahon na hindi mo nakakayaning magtrabaho para sa kanila. If you don't control the money controls you. And worse, it controls when and how you can come home. Kaya nga sabi ni Pastor Dan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Tandaan niya. Number 2, the myth. The finite nature of foreign labor. We often operate under the delusion that we can always renew the contract. But that is rarely the case forever. Katulad ko, nagkaroon ako ng 10 years doon. So like 3 times yon na renewal ng contract. Kasi 3 years, 2 years, ganyan. Noong una 2 years, then 3 years, 3 years, 3 years. Kaso, syempre, tandaan natin, the company will always be there, with or without you. So meaning, when you're gone, another employee replaces you, takes your position. So meaning, hindi ka talaga ganun kahalaga sa company mo. Kahit naman dito sa Pilipinas, hindi ka gold para sobrang pahalagahan ka ng company mo. Kahit gaano ka pa kasip-sip dyan sa boss mo. Especially kung hindi naman yung boss mo ang may-ari ng kumpanya. Diba? Ganun yun. Kaya, wag masyado be. So here's the physical fatigue. Years of physically demanding labor take a toll. Your energy levels and stamina will decline. Tumatanda tayo. You know what? One salary should give you that realization na bawat sahod mo na pinagtrabahuan mo ng 30 days in a month, it also wastes 30 days of your life. So habang umiikot ang mundo, never po yan paatras, parang clockwise. Diba? Hindi po umatras yung clock. Pag 12 midnight na po, ang kasunod po ng 12 midnight ay 1 a.m. the next day na po. Hindi na po siya babalik ng 11 p.m. Yan yun. Okay? Okay? So I hope you're getting the point. So there's no rewind. Movie lang po yun. Job market shifts. Automation, political instability, or new visa regulations can suddenly close doors that seemed wide open. That's very true. In Dubai also, maraming mga changes sa visa. Then, it used to be very open for tourist visa holders to go to Dubai for gamit ang tourist visa, then i-convert nila doon, exit ka lang, tapos one day exit, tapos naging 30 days yung exit, tapos paiba-iba po talaga ang mga policies and rules, di ba? Elsewhere. That's why, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, forever na ako dito sa Dubai, magfo-for good na ako dito. There's no such thing as like that. Di ba? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-for good sa abroad, kasi hindi mo yan bansa. Babalik ka sa bansa mo, whether you like it or not. Age limits. Many countries impose age cut-offs for specific roles. For example, in the Philippines, we have retirement age at 60 years old. So abroad din, paano ka naman magiging productive kung 80 years old ka na, nag-work ka pa? Diba? Kamusta ka naman? So syempre, hahanap yung company mo ng mas fresh, mas bata, at mas malakas ang energy kesa sa'yo. Diba? So whether you like it or not, maski super loyal ka pa doon, super sip-sip ka pa, super hardworking ka pa, okay, let's take it positively, super hardworking ka, darating ang panahon na pag tumanda ka, sisipain ka palabas, ligwak ka day, i-elbow ka nila, at sabihin nila sa'yo, thank you, but your services are no longer needed. Ganon kasimple day. So you have to realize that. If you haven't used your high foreign income to build an investment foundation that can replace a portion of your salary, you are essentially ensuring you must continue working indefinitely, even if your health prohibits it. Yun ang pinakamasakit. Yung hindi ka nakapag-invest, wala kang retirement plan, so pagbalik mo ng Pilipinas, wala kang choice, day. Hahanap ka ng mapagkakakitaan na gagawin mo talaga na hard labor na ikaw ang gagaba. Kahit may sakit ka na, kahit matanda ka na, wala kang magiging choice kundi gawin mo yon. Bakit? Kasi nga nakadepend sa'yo ang family mo, sinanay mo sila na ganon, di ba? Na ikaw lahat ang gumagawa. Yung kalabaw nga tumatanda, kasabihan lang yon. Yung sinasabing, sabagay sinasabi nga na kalabaw lang ang tumatanda, di ba? Hindi tao, pero tumatanda tayo, be. Kita mo yung wrinkles, yan. Patunay yan. Maski anong banat mo dyan, mag-wrinkles ka. Your goal should be simple. Use the few high-earning years abroad to build a system that pays you back home, allowing you to retire while you are still young enough to enjoy your family. That's why the retirement age typically should be 40s or 50s. Kasi malakas ka pa. Pati mga bagay na gusto mo ding gawin when you're free, you have time freedom, financial freedom, you're comfortable to spend money and to do whatever you want to do. Habang malakas ka pa. Kasi yung gusto mong mag-rides, gusto mong mamasyal, gusto mong mag-travel, gusto mong pumunta sa ganitong ganyang lugar, hindi mo pa nakikita, gusto mong i-try ang glass walk, ganito, akyat sa Vietnam, and all. My God, matanda ka na, 80 ka na, kakayanin mo, be? O sige, nakapag-ipon ka abroad, na itabi-tabi mo lang, savings lang tayo, savings lang. Sige, nakapagtabi ka naman. Dahil mong pera, pagbalik mo 70 years old ka, o 65, sabihin natin, kaya mo pa? Kaya mo pa mag-rides? Kaya mo pa akyatin yung mga Sapa, Vietnam, kung ano man yung mga inaakyat nila ng mga tourist destinations, kaya mo pa? Kaya mo pang mamundok, punta ka ng Baguio, lakad-lakad, here, there, Session Road, wala na, be, wala ka ng lakas, wala ka ng energy. So, hindi pwedeng yung pera mo ang palakarin mo o ilakad mo ako. Wala na. Magtira ka ng lakas, ng pangangatawan, para magawa mo rin yung mga gusto mong gawin sa buhay later on. Tapos, sabi rin niya, mag-invest. So, what is the best investment? That, another content na tayo. Pero pinakamaganda pa rin, natutunan namin sa aming coach, real estate. Real estate. If you want to earn passive income, real estate. Mapalupa man yan, or lupa na binili mo unti-unti, tapos installment basis, tapos may tatayuan mo ng apartment, malapit yan sa mga schools, malapit yan sa mga mataong lugar, the best, ang passive income. Or even a condominium unit, the best yan, na passive income. The call to action. Taking control today. This needs a powerful, immediate response from both the OFW and the family back home. Hindi lang po ito iisipin dapat ng OFW. Dapat iniisip din po at ine-educate natin yung mga pamilya natin na nasa Pilipinas na ang akala nila ay namumulot ng pera yung mga tao sa abroad. Ha? Kailangan nyo rin po itong malaman yung mga kamag-anak dito sa Pilipinas. A message to the overseas Filipino worker. You are the breadwinner, but you must now become the chief financial officer. Kailangan mong maging chief financial officer. Mandate financial literacy for yourself. It is a must. Again, it is a must sa toolkit mo. Stop watching purely entertainment on your breaks. Stop watching mga luho-luho. Stop add to cart lang pag break time mo. Stop window shopping. Stop luho, gala, living the life all the time, and you feel like immediate gratification. Deserve ko to. Diba? Think long term. Think long term. Start learning about budgeting, mutual funds, variable universal life insurance, and real estate. See, even my research says that. Real estate. Don't rely on advice from friends. Seek certified professionals. My husband is a licensed real estate broker, and I am a speaker, resource speaker for financial literacy trainings, kasi yun po yung training ko sa Dubai mula sa aming mentor na si Pastor Dan. Kaya nga po, even online, I use my platforms bilang part ng advocacy ko on financial literacy po. So you can also ask me. And of course, you can watch videos of Chinkitan, mga ganyan, sina Francis Kong. Ang dami naman mga speakers na nagto-talk about financial literacy. So, imbes na nanonood lang po tayo ng away ng hanash, ng mga tulfo, ng mga kabit, ng mga, my God, let's talk about ideas. Let's not talk about people. Kasi talking about people is just gossip, chismis. Ang babaw. Ang babaw. Please, don't talk to me about people. Don't gossip. Ayoko. I don't entertain those kinds of things. Let's talk about ideas. Let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about financial literacy. Game. Pero yung mga, dahil si ganito, ganyan, wala akong pake. Nasaan ang pake ko? Don't talk to me about those things. The 60-40 rule. Stop sending 100% of your disposable income home for consumption. Ang sahod mo po, hindi lang for consumption. Kailangan nagtatabi ka. Immediately implement a system where a minimum of 40% of your remittances after necessary expenses abroad is earmarked only for savings and investment. The other 60% covers the family's needs. So, okay na. Tanggalin mo muna. This is 100% of your salary. Remove all your expenditures abroad. Okay? Pagkatanggal mo na siya, yung 60-40, doon mo siya hahatiin. Okay, fine. That's 60% of that after your expenses abroad, ibigay mo sa pamilya mo sa Pilipinas. Tapos, yung 40% nun, itabi mo. Hindi mo kailangan ipaalam sa pamilya mo sa Pilipinas. Kasi ang problema sa atin, katulad niyan, may client si husband. Ang kapatid sa abroad. Yung kapatid nandito sa Pilipinas. Yung kapatid pinapadalhan nung nasa abroad. So, yung nasa abroad, nakaisip na mag-invest ng lupa, bumili kay husband. Kaso, ang ginawa niyang representative, yung kapatid. So, yung kapatid, dependent doon sa, sobrang dependent doon sa ate, doon sa abroad. So, may one time na nagka-problema yung nasa abroad, hindi siya nakapagpadala. Tumawag ngayon ang kapatid sa aking husband at sabi niya, "Sir, pwede pa withdraw nung pera na ibinayad ng ate ko?" Sabi ng husband ko, "Bakit? Ano pong akala niyo sa lupa niyo? Bangko?" Diba? Nakakaloka. Ano i-withdraw? Bangko pa yun, te? So, ang problema kasi doon, hindi nagpadala yata or kulang yung padala nung nasa abroad. So, yun sinasabi ko, so pag binigyan mo na sila ng 60% na supposed to be para sa kanila, let that be their problem. Kung paano siya i-budget, kung paano siya pagkasyahin, at kung paano siya gastusin. At kailangan mo din silang, you have to be firm in telling them na hanggang dito lang kayo. And you cannot take what is mine and what is for my future. Kasi hindi naman sila ang maghihirap. Ikaw din. Yan. So, invest in income-generating assets. Ayan na. Your goal is not a new television. Ayan na naman, yung nag-upgrade tayo. O sige, yung motor natin, gagawin nating Fortuner. Yung bahay natin na bungalow, gagawin nating 2 stories. Yung mga gamit natin, level up natin. Kailangan yung TV, smart TV na 60 inches, ipakonect natin ng Netflix. Ayan. So, hindi mo kailangan ng mga material things, Day. It is passive income. Yun ang kailangan mo. Look into, number 1, rental properties, small apartments or commercial spaces. Number 2, business ventures. Starting a small, sinasabi ko tumalon siya Wait lang po ha. Ayan na. Starting a small venture in the Philippines managed by a trusted family member. Kasi yan din ang problema minsan. May kliyente rin kami, nagtayo ng business. Kaso, she needs to go back abroad. Nag-work siya doon. Pinamanage niya sa kanyang kapatid. Yung mga kapatid na yan. Tapos, ang nangyari, nalugi. Imbes na kumita pa yung business niya, na small lang siya na kainan, restaurant. Nalugi pa, tapos hingi pa ng hingi sa kanya ng pondo yung nandito. So, trusted family member. Now, if you cannot trust that family member, better trust someone else. Kasi minsan yung kadugo pa natin, sila pa yung mga walang malasakit sa atin. At sila pa yung magda-down sa atin. Tapos pag wala sila napapala sa atin, syempre, may sasabihin. Diba? Sila ang magiging basher mo balang araw. Charis. So, index funds, long-term, low-risk, stock market investments. I recommend Bo Sanchez, yung Truly Rich Club. Yan. It's a long-term thing. Kung if you don't know how to do stock market, be trained by a coach. Magpatulong sa isang broker ng stock market. And that's one. Napapanood ko lang na reviews tapos subscribe ako dun sa mga mga letters niya, ganyan. Tsaka mga vlogs niya. So, binabasa ko din. Tapos pinapanood ko rin yung mga videos ni Bo Sanchez. Aside from prayers, of course. Praying for us every day. Yun ang pinakagusto ko. Yung prayers. To the family back home. The financial steward. Tagapag-ingat ng yaman. Ang ibig po sabihin ng steward, tagapag-ingat ng yaman. Hindi po tagagastos ng sahod. Your role is just as critical. You are not just the recipient. You are the steward and executor of the family's financial future. Sa inyo po nakasalalay ang kaban ng bayan, kaya hindi po para sa inyong paggastos at pagluho at pag-upgrade ng buhay nyo. Habang yung tao sa abroad, nagtatrabaho at naghihirap. Practice radical transparency. Every peso, cent must be accounted for. Kung pwede nga lang i-audit kayo nung nasa abroad, mayat-maya, at naka-breakdown sa anong expenses. Baka mamaya puro add to cart, kain sa labas, outing, libre ng mga kapitbahay, bonggang parties, o diba? Create a shared spreadsheet, or ledger. If your OFW is making the sacrifice, the least you can do is ensure zero waste. Mag-practice po tayo ng zero waste para hindi naman po kawawa. Kayo nagpa-party, nandilibre ng kain sa labas ng mga tropa nyo, ng mga amigas nyo. Tapos yung tao sa abroad, noodles na lang po ang kinakain. Wala pa. Kasi pinagkakasya po niya, ini-stretch niya yung budget niya para makaabot na naman sa next sahod. Totoo po yun. Nangyayari yun. Kasi noon nandun kami sa Dubai, meron kaming rent na flat or parang condo unit siya na maluwang. So, sinishare namin yon sa ibang mga kabayan. Nakikita namin yung hirap ng mga kabayan na minsan, pag day off nila, imbes na kakain ng 3 times a day, i-stretch nila yung tulog nila maghapon para isang kain lang. Bakit? Nagtitipid. Samantalang yung mga tao dito sa Pilipinas, kung makagastos, kung makakain sa labas, kung makalibre ng ibang tao. Bakit de? Yung ibang tao na yan na friendan mo, totoo ba sila sa'yo? Or baka, dumidikit lang kasi nililibre mo. Diba? Yan tayo eh. Push back against lifestyle creep. Before buying anything non-essential, ask, is this purchase bringing our OFW closer to coming home permanently or is it pushing them further away? Pag binili ko ba to, wais ba ito na bibilihin? Tapos, pag binili ko ba ito, makakatulong ba doon sa nag-abroad na makauwi ng maaga o mas mapupush pa siya lalo na magtagal doon? So if the OFW returns, who will pay for the expensive private school tuition you just signed up for? Become a partner, not a dependent. Take the initiative to learn investment basics. Attend seminars, read books, and manage the local assets. Prove that the money sent home is capital for the future. Again, sabi nga ni Pastor Dan, may hawak siyang pera. For example, sa Pilipinas, 1,000 bill. Pag binigay po sa'yo ito ng nasa abroad, ito po ay capital. Hindi po ito para gastusin. Again, ito po ay capital. Kailangan po niyang gamitin para sa pag-i-invest. Not just spending money for the present. Your OFW is sacrificing their life for your comfort para bigyan kayo ng maalwang buhay. Your sacrifice must be comfort for their retirement. Balikan po yun. You know what? Love is give and take. It is two-way process. Para siyang two-way street. Hindi po siya pwedeng one-way lang. Dapat po, balikan. So, nasasakripisyo yung nasa abroad na nagpapadala, ikaw din na pinapadalhan, nagsasakripisyo ka din para makauwi siya at makapag-retire. Conclusion. Plan your homecoming to the OFW. The sacrifices you make abroad are monumental, but sacrifice alone does not guarantee security. It is not enough to say, yeah, I'm hardworking, nagsasakripisyo ako, ginagawa ko ang lahat para sa inyo. Hindi po yung security. Strategy does. Your OFW journey has an expiry date. Katulad ng visa mo, nag-e-expire. Make sure that when that date comes, you are not dependent on getting another contract, but rather dependent on the sound investments you made while you had the advantage of foreign currency. Just like UAE, you're earning dirham, 1 dirham equals 15 pesos, let's say. Dollar in the US right now is $1 equals 59.17 pesos, almost hitting 60 pesos. Yun ang ilaban mo, yung currency doon. Ang laki ng opportunity mo abroad, ang laki ng chance mo kumita ng malaki pag kino-convert mo siya sa peso. Kaya hindi dapat napupunta yan sa sayang lang. This is your final urgent call to action. Stop treating your remittance as income to be spent and start treating them as capital to be multiplied. Even yung mga empleyado sa Pilipinas, hindi po yan panggastos. Pang-capital po yan. Kasi hindi po tayo forever empleyado. Start planning, start investing, and secure that comfortable, debt-free future you truly deserve with your family. Kasi ang masaklap niyan, kung nagluho sila rito, home credit, credit cards, installment payments ng mga appliances and everything, bigla ka nawala ng trabaho. Sino magbabayad ng mga yon? Bebenta nyo, second hand, depreciated ang price. Diba? So if you want to build your retirement fund and master your remittances, please hit that subscribe button, pa-follow. Join me next time as we break down the best low-risk investment options for OFWs and how to talk to your family about setting firm financial boundaries. Kasi syempre, nasanay sila. Biglang iisipin, madamot na siya, nagbago na siya. Ano kaya nakain niyan? Lalo pag may bago kang karelasyon, sisisihin na ng karelasyon mo. Siguro bad influence yung karelasyon niya. Madamot. Diba? Katulad ko, nasabihan na rin ako ng madamot. So many times. Diba? I don't care. You just don't know. Wala kayong tamang mindset. Ganun lang yun. Don't just work hard. Work smart. Subscribe now for more financial wisdom. So another day, another discussion. This is your teacher Timmy saying, happiness is a choice. So always choose to be happy. Bye-bye everyone. Blessed Sunday.